at operations@optimus.guru. Also, we are having a Teams training on Monday. So for those of you who may be interested in learning more about Microsoft Teams, feel free to join us. And if you need more info, visit the website. The registration page is there. And so, and remember to our regular trainings for the month of June. So lots of opportunities coming out of Optimus for everyone. This morning, we have Mr. Noel Wellman de la Cruz, our Business Central consultant, and he'll be training us on reminders for Business Central users. So with no further ado, let me hand over to Noel.
Thank you very much, Francine, for your introduction and for your help. Now, welcome everybody to our weekly webinar. I see a lot of people once again. This topic, even though this topic reminders is not like telling you too many things about what it is, our webinar topic. So, I'm happy to actually present this topic. What I'm about to do is I'm going to have a session at most 1 hour. This webinar is very short. Due to the fact that the topic is not complicated, it doesn't require calculations or anything, but I wanted to show this because what about if you could automatically prepare statements for your customers? This is for AR, and for your sales operations. And you know that all of us need to handle our collection process. We need to sometimes be quite conservative when it comes to AR and try not to push very hard, but at the same time we need to collect money, we need to send the reports on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, and you prepare an email and you prepare a report that is going to take you 2 to 3 hours, etc. Okay, so I'm happy to present this topic because what if I tell you that only we are going to need 2 minutes in order to do all that job accurately and with automation. All right, so that's the topic for today. And at any point, just you can raise your hand and ask me questions, even though the topic is quite easy. But surprisingly, not many people actually works with this when it comes to our ERP processes. I don't know how to explain when, you know, that's very useful. All of we want collections, right? To be enhanced with any tool that it's available. That's why, I mean, ZRM and many tools that we have for sales operations to automate and to enhance our sales processes and then later follow up. Well, that's the topic today. And I don't have an answer why the customers, maybe it's just the name. I would say so, right? Reminders are not telling us exactly what it is. And we sometimes need to explain this. Microsoft just put the name for this, and this functionality has so many years. So I just cannot tell how many times when our customers knows what we have behind the scene for this specific functionality, well, it has a factor wow, let's call it that way. All right, so I'm going to start now with the topic, with the presentation, and let's then just begin. Okay, so this is what it is. A Business Central here once again. I'm having a browser open. I'm using Firefox, and you could as well use any one. Here I'm going to be today, just a manager in charge of a division. So what we see today here in Business Central, when I'm opening it, immediately I see for the manager some different KPIs. For instance, the sales of the month, overdue sales invoices, overdue purchase, etc. Also, I have a lot of different options to review my work, and here is the topic. sales quotations too. I need to, if I wanted to continue selling, well, I could just open it, click on these queues, and immediately I'm going to review the documents. So I have in this moment two quotations because I clicked on this sales quote queue, etc. So I have in purchasing KPIs for purchases approvals. Well, nobody sent me any purchase approval for me today, so that's fine. And here, create incoming documents. You have a camera even that you can, if you want, from any at any moment take pictures from your documents, etc. Well, you could do so. Here also we have some charts that we can customize for you. In this case, well, I have just the top 5 customers, a trial balance. So if you need so, well, in this case, only for the information the manager wants to see for his own area, department, division, the sales department. Well, he is just checking how the performance for this specific period as a trial balance. And we have different type of timesheets for the people who's working in the team. I can approve or reject time for the people who is in field selling with the tablet. Remember that we have now in Business Central integration. So somebody's giving maintenance. This is a service order, or this could be regular orders just to sell more products. So basically that's it. This is normally what we do. We could add queues like this one, reports, financial reports, charts, etc. Just to mention it, also we have integration with Outlook that we are going to be using today. We could automate processes, for instance, into OneDrive. This is the cloud drive where we can save attachments or files from our ERP. And that's sometimes something we do when I want to add maybe if I have a workflow, I want evidence of the, before approving any document, you could add evidence. Maybe the purchase order, you want to add somebody who is before approving, okay, attach the original document for the request or the evidence from the vendor to analyze the real cost that it's okay. So we have Power Automation and many other features. So everything is in the cloud. You are not isolated in a software where in a server you need to install. Of course, you can have it installed in your server. I'm not saying so, but the idea of this Business Central new version or flavor is have the same functionality as NAV, but now it's seamlessly integrated without having any other or further customization with many, many applications. Okay, so for the explanation as well, Navision and Business Central, for those of you who have it, the function I'm going to be showing, that's something that I regularly do on my presentation. Navision has the same function. Talking about the functions that I present, the topic specifically, the functionality that I present. Normally I present in this type of webinars where we are learning functions that are also available in NAV. Okay. So in order to now really starting with the topic after our brief explanation of Business Central, what I'm going to do is now explain you what is a reminder. Okay, in order to do so, the idea of even the name reminder is telling us that we are going to send at some point an email to any of our customer, maybe on a monthly basis. We prepare and we review the invoices that were not yet paid, right? So what we are going to do is prepare an email with information. Let's say, let me show you this statement. Many of you prepare currently, or your employees in your company, your teammates even, could be preparing statements on a monthly basis to tell the customers, hey, I have some information for you, and what I need from you is that you review the invoices that you owe to the company. And once you, in the statement report, you're going to be able also to prepare some details. And in this case, what I'm going to do is open a customer card, right? This is a normal work we do, and review and download all the invoices, preparing an Excel report maybe manually in Excel. And then we prepared all the information. And in the first email you send on the monthly, every month, it's like an approach to the customer. Hey, my dear customer, I just wanted to tell you that and here, but you owe to the company these invoices and these amounts and the currencies, etc. After a while, you need to send another email, maybe after 2 or 3 weeks, or even in the second month, and tell, hey, this is the second reminder. In this moment, I need to tell you something and need to follow you up because you still own. And in the third, maybe in the third month or for the fourth month, well, you're gonna be pushing literally just to get paid, right? That's it. Basically, you're gonna use knuckles. Okay, maybe not that rude, but here, this is what we're gonna be doing regularly. In first place, of course, every customer, here I'm working with Adatum Corporation, and I'm just going to show you the standard statement. Of course, this is the first level of automation that you need at any point, at least just to review the information at any point with any customer. So I'm going to specify for my report the start and ending date, just to show you how this actually is going to work. If you want, you can select only overdue entries or all the entire list of invoices that were not yet paid. Here also you could include a customer ledger entries showing the actual a detail in this case. Just as an example, all right, those are your decisions how you want to prepare it. Include unapplied entries means that these invoices are not even selected for any journal to be paid at all. And then include aging band, yes, for 1 month and the current month, okay, fine. You can decide the aging band for what will be including. Is it going to be the due date only or the posting date? Just as an example. Okay, this is only the first level of automation. You don't have to do any other report anymore manually. And we can send it to maybe just a preview or Word to Excel, or even we can prepare an email with an automated body. So you can actually I also send it to the customer once you actually just print it or prepare the report. You don't necessarily need to print it anymore. So the idea is that I'm just going to start generating a regular email, and let me show you the report. So I only open a customer card, and in 30 seconds, 1 minute, I prepared a statement for the customer Adatum Corporation where Mr. Noe works. So here, because I included all the detail, I have my posting dates, all the documents listed here in the second column as document number, my due date, I asked for that, then the original amount and the remaining amount, right? So the idea is that for all the invoices, you're gonna get what is the value that is still a overdue that you have not yet received. And basically, also we have included to have a separation, not to include only the invoices here, as well as a subtotal, but we added an aging band. So we have also the dates and the amounts. Here is the aging report for this currency USD. So it's included in your statement already, only for the customer. So you can see immediately for different periods. Let me see, maybe it's a little bit small. Let me just, okay. So for June and for my previous months, May, April, and March. Also before, as you can see, well, I have an issue with the customer. That's why I would like to have some maintenance, right? Basically, that's it. But also here, well, my overdue invoices also include another subtotal. So as you can see, we can, it's a good report, I believe, that includes all your documents by number and the due dates, and as a very simple age summary, right, that is going to be specified for this customer. Okay, well, so the first level of automation is fine. I have my statement report and looks fine. We would add just a simple logo, or if you want to customize it according to your specific requirements, that will be also good. And sometimes the customer asks us to maybe separate the taxes from the actual amount, etc., etc. That would be also a good idea. Or maybe the layout is quite different in your company and you would like to adapt it. But just as an example, this is what it is. Just detailed information with document, remaining amount, and the total still owed to the company. Basically, that's it for the first step of what information we need to handle. But now, another idea sometimes is to charge. What happens when a customer does not simply pay you, okay? I know it's not a very used technique, or sometimes companies do not consider as a best practice, but what happened after 2 or 3 months that, or maybe more, of course, where you are not receiving payments? Well, maybe it's not widely used to make charges or interests, but anyway, it's the functionality is here, and why not to try it, or is advisable, as long as, well, you can define according to specific policies where in which cases we apply that type of policies. All right, so that's the idea. At some point, somebody thought, okay, that's good. I have my statement, but at some point I would like to send automatic emails with my statements, right, on a periodic basis. And I would like to have an option where I could specify policies for the periodicity, how often I'm going to be sending emails. Do I want to make charges or interests, or what type of interests, compound or simple? What would be better for me, or for even for every type of customer? So it's completely different if it's a local customer or if or you're exporting. Basically, well, this is why sometimes also maybe it's not widely used, but talking about interest and fees, we are going to have the option to do so or not. Let's talk about now reminders. Once you understand the idea of sending the information to your customer, with the information, that's something we are going to automate from now on. In order to do so, we are going to use the functionality called reminders, where I'm going to be automating an email. I'm going to extract the information from even the customer ledger entry with the detail of the currency, with the amounts, with the lines if you want as well, per line, and as well with credit memos included. So everything, right? Like a enhanced way of preparing a statement for your customer. And that's what the reminders does. Okay, so the idea of the reminders is that we are going to have the reminder preparation, issued reminders, and the reminder terms or policies. So we are going to review this. This is going to be an easy explanation. So what I'm going to start doing now, I'm going to talk about the reminder terms. That are our policies where we are going to define to which customers we are going to start sending emails, and just in case, when, how, periodicity, do you want to calculate fees, manual fees, or actually a more complex calculation for interests, like a bank would do with you, right? If with your company, you're having charges, you're having fees, you're having, well, different type of different application or charges with the specific with specific documents only maybe, and as well with specific type of amounts. Okay, so that's what we are going to see when we talk about reminder terms. What you see here is two simple lines, one that says domestic and one that says foreign. Just to make it simple, that's how I have divided the type of reminders, because at least I know that my domestic customers, I need to send to all of them my statement on a monthly basis. Okay, so that's what we're going to start checking. You're going to start grouping your customers. Think of your customers, what type of customers you might have that have different type of operations according to one criteria, the payment and the way they pay, right? If you have a local customer, you can expect to have quite often a payment, but if you are exporting, well, that's not going to happen oftenly, at least on an average or operational standard, or not standard, but the normal way, because some specific restrictions about how often you can send inventory to your customers as well, and as well how often you can do the volume of operations, handle this type of sales operations, right? So for domestic or foreign, do the type of operation we have as well. We are going to have do type of reminders for them, right? So for domestic, they are local, even they are in the same area, the same country, the same language as well. Foreign language, we have also translation for your reminders. Not, you maybe want to use not only English, but maybe another language to remind your customers. So the domestic and the foreign were used in order to separate those type of considerations. Now I'm going to talk about the domestic, in this case only to review the internal policies of my company that is called Kronos, is located in Europe, in a United Kingdom. Now, I have 3 levels for every domestic customer I have, which in other words means local, right? I have 3 types of reminders. One, after 5 days after a sales operation, an invoice was sent, please immediately do a calculation, okay? 5 days grace period to receive a payment, but the reminders will be sent after 1 month, all right? And you're gonna have 5 days to answer to me, or I'm going to charge 7.7 as a fixed fee, because here I'm having the option to assign what type of charge when it's needed, or if it's not needed, just don't use it and specify that the additional fee will be 0. Okay, I just wanted to show you that I have different levels. The first one, every month I'm going to send a specific reminder, an email. I can charge specific fees, which is a fixed amount, like your bank does with your bank account. That's exactly something you could handle. Do this specific operation I'm having, giving maintenance to your invoices, giving maintenance and waiting for the specific invoices to be paid, and to give you credit, I'm going to start as well charging. Okay, that will be the criteria if you use fixed fees. Remember, this is because you are allowing somebody to give credit. It's exactly what your bank is giving to you. Because I have a credit card, because I have any other type of payment method that I'm offering to you, maybe electronic services or a web page or whatever. For every service, they charge a fee. So in this case, you could add and you could do exactly the same. But in terms of the periods and the reminders, you're going to send that fee through a reminder that is going to be then, believe me, if you say, okay, I have 7.7 as a fee, you're going to charge in an invoice this amount. Okay, so let's take it that on consideration. It's not only an email. This information is going to go through an actual invoice where you're going to be charging as an option. It's not mandatory. The idea of the reminder is that at least you're going to send an actual email. So why not to just delete the fee? It's not that common that on a monthly basis are charged fees, right? But what about after 3 months, okay? So let's decide something internally in our company and let's start making some specifications. Okay, But also I have another option that is called single amount and accumulated dynamic. Dynamic just means interests, okay? Very simple. Single is simple interest and accumulated is compound interest. That is going to be accumulating the due amount on a monthly basis. I'm going to start calculating new level with the new amount and new interest on a periodic basis. This means that the longest time you're like with your bank, if you don't pay on time, we are going to use that new amount that you have not paid in order to calculate new interests levels. All right, that's what the compound interest is. And here in financial, in the Business Central topic, we call it accumulated dynamic. Okay, so very well. Now you could add a description if you want it. Well, so I'm going to specify first level, first reminder, second reminder. I'm not very creative when it comes to this, but that's the idea, okay? This is what your customer is going to be seeing. And the third reminder. Okay, very well. Now, also very important, the idea of having this is that once you actually have all this information in place, because this is for my local customer, I only want a fee. I want 3 levels sent every month of reminders and additional fee only on the 3rd month. Now let's review another idea, but for my foreign customers where I export goods, and here I'm going to need some other type of help. What other options we have for reminders? Well, first of all, we have translation. Okay, we're about to see that. I'm not going to show how to do we translate at this moment because you need to see first the email, how it looks in English, and etc. Right? But we can translate to your customer language, which is a great feature. Once we implement this, you'll love because you're going to see how your aging is going to be decreased because you're going to have, and believe me, believe it or not, sometimes your customers are not paying because you are not telling them to pay. Simple as. Okay. And both for my foreign customers, I'm going to show what policies I'm going to have. Again, 3, no problem. But in this case, only for foreign customers, I as well having 1 month a type of reminder. So the 1st month, the 2nd month, and the 3rd month they will be receiving. And the grace period means that, well, you have in this, at least for this specific first level, 7 days in order to reply. Okay, but in this case, I'm using accumulated dynamic, meaning that is going to be compound. Okay, I'm going to start charging compound interests after the 3rd month, so the 1st month. So this means that every month you need to pay, like with the bank, the specific amount that I'm offering to you for your invoice. This doesn't mean that you need to receive from your customer the entire amount of an invoice, but at least you can still divide with your customers the specific amount for every month that they need to pay, and voila. So if you're gonna pay that, well, I'm not gonna charge with interest. That's optional, okay? So you don't need, once again, very important, to specify either interests or additional fees that I show you already that are just fixed, okay? So let me show you what are we gonna be now. Not yet. How we're gonna work with this. And I'm going to need to specify any fee. Okay, also, the idea is the interest, okay? You could add additional fee is 100, but what about the additional fee would be in terms of percentage of an invoice, okay? So I'm going to start charging just as an option 3% of the invoice, okay? But only if the threshold is above one specific amount. There's an option as well. So just in case for that type of fees, okay, not widely used. Once again, when we explain these functions, most of our customers love it. These have sometimes from our customers we receive some feedback about this is what I always look for, but I don't want to use fees sometimes. Or only for the third after the first quarter, please start charging at least some fees for some specific charges like maintenance to the customer, overdue payments only. So you can decide what will be your policy. We're going to help you with that. Don't worry. I'm just giving you ideas. Interest fees over those amounts, different levels, translation, sorry. And as well, if you want for every level, you can specify the text that you're going to send on your emails. So hello, dear customer, etc. You can specify, you don't need any more a programmer to help you with this. Please review the following information, right? Or you could be more specific for this specific period on this specific date. And in order to do so, for the period, and here we have some formulas that are going to extract the information from your invoices. Like I believe it's percentage 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Percentage 4 is going to look into the date or the period for the invoice to copy paste it into your email. So we train you on how to actually do this. You could add the name of the customer, the amount, the currency, per line, everything. You can take out everything from your invoices, place it on the email, and voila, everything will be prepared in any language you want, and with any type of information you want to extract from the actual documents, and you don't need a programmer anymore. You might need only one day training for this type of reminders. As you can see, well, even though the configuration, we are going to still need a little training, but you now take the idea. Take the idea you're going to send reminders. Take the idea you're going to prepare your own emails. Take the idea you're going to prepare for any period automatically. So, the statement report with any invoices with the information you need to include, and I'm going to show you how to do so. Okay, so we are going to be preparing batches. So we are not going to do it anymore customer by customer, taking the entire day. We're going to do it in 2 minutes, but checking all the universe of customers. All right, so once we have defined some policies for the domestic and the foreign, just as an example, okay, and you as well could decide if you want to do as complex or as simple as you want it, a single email, or maybe for every level you could add different emails. Like in the first one, the first email will be dear customer. The second one will be please review this. And the third one will be, okay, I'm gonna charge. I'm gonna start charging some fees or interest or whatever you want to include. Okay, so let's review how then we work with that. Once we work with you directly, our dear customers, how you want to establish your policies, we're going to help you consultants and with financial and with specific tactics we often implement. Okay, tactics, maybe it's a rude word, but that's the truth. We want to get and we want to enhance, and we need a strategy to actually work with this. Otherwise, reminders will be quite useless. Just sending once again emails we have seen in the past that even though they are very, very useful, after a while also, once again, customers do not see our emails. So we need to like specify different text, different type of operations, different periods. Okay, how then we do it? Okay, in this search box, excuse me, in the search box, you can specify and you can look for any type of text here in Business Central. This is going to open you all the functionality. We have as well previous menus that where you can navigate with your mouse like any ERP, but I just wanted to show you If you specify a word now, it's going to take you directly to the functions that you have inside your ERP. It's going to take you to specific windows again, like inside the ERP. And we also can establish some documentation that you can find in internet in Microsoft public sites, or within your company, we can specify documents. So if you have created a manual about any function, or if you want, if you request to one of our videos of our trainings, you could specify that, include it in your server, and have access for all the documents. Also, and as well pop-up notes. If you want something that you repeatedly look for, you can have pop-ups as well, okay? So this is in the cloud, so we are now including like features like this, all right? And just by typing reminder, all of this big menu appear. I'm kind of going into everything. I'm just going to look for our functionality today. Okay, so by looking for reminders, I have opened this window, and in the process function, I'm going to be able to do two things: create reminders, suggest reminder lines, okay? And this is what is going to be looking, this is an engine that is going to look into the ledger entries from your customers to review on a periodic basis for the period that you specify, even by customer ledger entries. So this really looks into not only invoices, but the actual records. So this is very important. I'm going to start creating the first reminders, and this is what is going to happen, okay? I'm going to look for the information on a specific period, maybe since March up to today. Look all the customers and look for all the entries, and you can specify only entries with overdue amount or the amounts, okay? Why not only overdue for now? Just for our first example. Include entries on hold. These are just documents that are not yet, meaning they are on hold because we are not going to be able to continue maybe selling or doing anything else, or they have an error. We can put documents on hold or use header levels. Well, not important for now, just for the first exercise. But you could actually filter by customer if you want it as well, and filter by only that. You could, for now, in order to understand the function, filter by the date and the customer for the first exercise. So I'm going to click on OK. It's going to start checking and checking and checking. Okay, only for one customer, I was not able to create customers, reminders as well, because the customer was already here. One is a trade research, and the other one is called Adatum Corporation. What is the remaining amount? You can see here, $72,000. What happened with this customer? Okay, let's start working. The reminders and the report is already prepared. You can see it. That's the idea of the reminder. And here we have a report for this customer that is called Adatum, where Mr. Noe works. And here I have the header with the data, well, general information from your customer, the address, the city, contact information. At the end, you need this contact information, and the documentation, the document date from where we are having this. And look at this, we are going to next, we have set already a reminder the last month, because here I have the reminder level number 2. So according to that, we are going to be, and Business Central is going to review in which level you are. So since March, look at this. Okay, he sent a payment, okay, minus 100. Okay, so we are checking that information, and I have all these invoices that were not yet paid with remaining amount here, right? So as you can see, the source is the customer ledger entries. We are reviewing into the roots of the register, sales registers, in order to actually get by document, look at the or ORD, meaning this is a sales order. all right? You could have an invoice or something, and here is the number, then the remaining amount. Once that is done, if the balance, if we have a message that I have just specified here, you can as well take a look at the detailed ledger entries, all right? It's not only by document. If you want, you can see the detail here, all right? So you can see the entire information of the actual documents, okay? So we have a document, the amount, and we could continue navigating until we can actually see all the actual documents or even the GL accounts. Look at the level we are going into a reminder. We can actually also navigate into the actual GL entries where we can see from the sales order, whatever, the number, we have the specific amounts where we are posting, just to be sure, okay? You can navigate until the actual detail of GL, taxes, etc. But the idea is not now for that. We have previous records, previous processes where AR was actually checking that type of information. For me, only it's important to review an email that I'm going to be sending to this customer with the updated information, reminder level number 2, and with all the detail included. Very well. So here I can see all the invoices, and I have the following. If the balance is not received within 10 days, your account will be sent to collection agency. Look at this. This is very, very hard. That's what I was telling you, okay? The first level could be no problem. This is just a reminder. But I selected this example with with a customer that has many documents. Look at this, $72,000, okay? Of course, this needs to be treated with a specific policy, and this was my policy after maybe a few months, okay? And with the specific amounts, if you owe me more money than the value that I specified in my internal company, you tell us that, we can specify this type of actions, okay? Maybe I'm being too harsh. I should have prepared something lighter, like at the reminder level number 1, where we just say, hey, I have some invoices, but okay, let's go directly to how this actually helps you. Okay, after this, what we are going to be checking, we can issue, and we can just prepare, and when we call issue is that we are going to send now this to the customer, all right? So you can do now, all of this is done. This is going to be including all the information so they can start checking. You can include attachments if you want. It is also possible. You can include the actual statement. You can from here also see the statement as well, the H accounts receivable report. So you can still see, even from the reminder that you are preparing, the most important information related to the documents you are sending, basically, okay? So hopefully that is giving you the actual idea. All of this is automated, and still you could prepare and test the report or do the actual issue, okay? Just giving you the function. You could, let's just preview it for that. Nothing complex. Okay, this is going to start preparing the report for me. Excuse me if it takes a while. This is in Azure currently only on a demo environment. Okay, coming back while it is actually updating my information into the report. The idea is that coming back to the reminders, I will be just issuing this, and by clicking issue, this is going to now send everything to print. If you have your customer maybe on your offices, just print it to show the customer the actual information, or by email, okay? So basically you just can actually just do so, prepare a posting date, because guess what? Also remember that in some cases we could have fees, we could have interests, and so on. Well, you need to specify a posting date, because at the end, if that's the case, we are going to be preparing an invoice with the actual amounts that we are charging, okay, just in case as an option, okay? So that's important. And this is going to be preparing the invoices, the emails, everything, everything. So you don't have to do anything else, okay? So this has prepared the body. I have, just as an example, I have prepared a specific topic that will be sent to your customer. Hello, Robert, directly sent to the actual contact. Okay, you are receiving this email to formally notify you that payment owed by you is past due. All right, and we have added the date like I specified you before. Enclosed is a copy of an invoice with the details, okay? Everything was automated. Here is a summary in the body email with the documents we saw before, very large. This is a very large body email. And maybe it's not good for you. This is quite dull. It's just all black. Okay, just tell us what you want, okay? That's important. But here also we have added a specific a PDF, okay? Tell us how you want it, a Word, your layout, okay? Well, this is the reminder, a PDF, so you can see our email, who actually sent you this, Mr. Noé. Let me just maximize a little this, okay? So the legal entity, the document date, reminder, and this is a legal document, right? So also I'm including the bank account, or also we could add your PayPal account. I'm gonna show you in this new world, we do not only work with banks because you have fees, you have taxes to pay. We can work with a PayPal where you are going to have your company money on the PayPal account and not necessarily with your bank. Here as well, if the balance is not received, we can add a specific text according to the specific criteria for the different reminders. The first level will be quite soft, but now after all this money owed, well, we are now working with another type of action. And here, well, some dimensions. Okay, the customer is large. This is for my AR reports, nothing else, okay? So that's the idea. And once we click on OK, we can also send maybe another email to CC somebody else, the subject, and well, basically that's it, okay? Just issue that. I'm just actually doing it manually, okay? Oh, I haven't verified the email address. Sorry. Let me. Well, I have just sent my reminders, but for one of my customers, I still need to specify the email address. I'm not going to do so for now. I'm just going to check the issued reminders that I have already sent, so you can see them, okay? And we have records of what you have sent to your customers. So at any moment, you can still review history, but for any reason, your customers actually are now paying, you would need to now start applying the money to their different invoices. And here, you're going to be able to see that information, okay? What happened here in every line, okay? I'm going to place my cursor in the reminder that was already sent, okay? Now, the idea of this is that on every line, right, for every document, or in this case, sales orders, because I know this number is a sales order, you can still review if the amount is still there, or if you have applied entries, meaning that somebody is now reviewing the payments and somebody is applying the payments to this specific line, to this specific invoice. So from here, you can still give proper maintenance to the actual collection process. So you can see the detailed ledger entries, what level of reminder is, and which actual applications are still ongoing. In this case, it's 0 because I have just sent the reminder, but the customer has not yet sent the payment, so nobody's applying any payment to this specific row or to this specific sales order. Okay. Oh, forgot to mention, very important, you could add attachments at any point if you still need so. Okay. And this will be good traveling to the actual process. So I have sent a reminder, and just to finalize, I have done this manually. I have done this because well, I just needed to show you the actual process, what we are doing behind the scene, the policies, the fees, and blah blah blah. But this is all of this is done automatically. We have in Business Central a, let's call it engine. We have a service that is going to help us to automate something that we in Business Central call jobs. A job in Business Central and in NAB as well is a specific service that you automate in your server or in the cloud, in the hosted a server that you might have or you might have in the future, right? With this in this new in the cloud technology. Okay, we are having this now. You can automate all of this process. This will be automatically created. We just test for you the, first of all, the policies, and second, the emails, how they look, the body, the reports, the PDF or Excel reports that you want to attach, and review that they work normally. And then at the end, we are just going to send it in batches for all the customers. You don't have to do anything else, and this will be automatically used. So that's why it has a wow factor, because when we go and explain this to our previous customers and new customers that want to some help when it comes to collection, well, we just explain this functionality, and they would, most of the time, 80% of our customers, at least in my experience, implement this at least, right? And the other ones are maybe thinking, or maybe they have another type of operation where they are not just simply using it, all right? But the most important is that here you will be using the function, first of all, to start increasing your collection average, well, KPIs, okay? Collection have different type of measurements by period, by customer, by currency, a local or export, or foreign customers, etc. But overall KPIs will be just enhanced or be decreased in our case for collections, right? And second, time saved. In my opinion, sometimes for the AR clerks, this takes the entire day, at least for the people who is doing so. Now, you can get rid of this type of work. Everything will be automated, and you can still just focus or focus on the actual AR process, which is actually apply your payments when you receive that, either from your customers, or as well. Let me show you what happened with PayPal. Let me go to the posted sales invoices. We are about to finish. This is just a bonus. Okay. This is a reminder. This is how it looks like. This is how the report is prepared. But now what I'm going to be showing is just a bonus for you who are present here. Now in Business Central, we are going to be able to prepare an invoice, and we can attach to your functionality, to your emails, to your reports. Let me show you, it was here. I have an invoice, a regular invoice from a customer, right? This could be also a statement, or this could be a reminder, the topic we are talking about today. This is an invoice for Adaptum Corporation, the company we reviewed before, and as well, in every invoice that I send, they purchase a computer, right, for my company, and here is the total. But remember, they have not paid. I have $70,000, okay? But as well here, the idea is that I have a PayPal service, so you could add just your PayPal account, or for the company as the account clerk. You can now create one for the company, talk with the owner in the company, and you just can immediately send, and you can receive payments now directly from your documents. So your customers as well can pay you directly into PayPal. Okay, so currently I have this amount. I'm not gonna go through into the PayPal process, but guess what? You can just do so. You can just Attach include information in your documents, and this is going to be concatenated or linked with your actual collection process. So you are going to avoid, or we can add information about your bank account, your credit card numbers, or just in case you want to receive payments into a specific payment method that you have. Not credit card number, I mean a credit account number, so you can receive specific payments, electronic payments, right? That's the idea, right? So thank you very much. I don't know if you have further doubts about what you see today. This was the reminders topic. And I have just specified that this could be as well used for any Business Central or NEB process. This function comes from, if I'm not mistaken, 7 years ago, all right, or 6 at most. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. I was very happy to present this topic. If you want to know more, please just let me know. I can help you with specific demos whenever you need for the topics, for the interests, or more complex ideas that you might have, okay? So you can see here, the topic is quite simple, but very, 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 very powerful. So if there are no further doubts, I just want to thank you once again for your time. This was the webinar, and like we do on every week, I just want to invite you to get certified with us, to follow up our weekly trainings where you're gonna continue learning. You can go to optimus.guru, where you can review the training sessions that we are going to have next on a weekly basis, so you can see if you're interested in any topic. Invite your colleagues. Tell me if you want to receive another invitation so you can send to your colleagues to receive training, right? So thank you very much. I don't see any question, because yes, the topic is itself, it's very, very easy to understand, but nothing complicated for now if you want to see interest or fees, or nothing complicated.